I get so flustered when looking at cars. I love cars so much sometimes it becomes a problem. When I'm walking down the street and I glance at the cars parked next to the sidewalk, I can't help but find some of them rather handsome and imagine some rather inappropriate things. That's fine because I am alone during those times. It becomes uncomfortable when I'm out with family and I see a beautiful car and just get flustered. Even worse, my father works at Google, so he gets cars he can use during his travels. But some of those cars are so sweet, especially this one he had a few months back. I had to really try hard not to get turned on and attached. It is the car my father is using, for God's sake. I'm not a creep. It's just an unfortunate thing. It seemed so polite. I could have treated it right. My father did not seem to appreciate it, _s gentle and loving nature as much as I did.
Her fucking power button shoots up when I lift her up. Boner! Boner! Okay, just adding on this here to not spam my Tumblr. Old computers are so cute and hot, man. IDK. Computers are small and cute and submissive and expressive, and machines are big and scary and dominant and cold. A machine would use you for what it wants, but it's impossible to know what it wants and how it will make you satisfy it. Ever imagine your objects with some kind of human or human-like genitalia? I was wondering if others ever thought this way, and with what objects. This happens when fantasizing about my locomotive partner 920, aka Morgan. Besides ferries or buses, it doesn't typically occur for other objects I'm sexually attracted to. I like to think Morgan has some kind of flexible, smooth mechanical dick near his back wheels, which must be huge, considering he's a 56-foot long... considering he's a 56-foot engine. Not that size matters, but like, oh.
To be honest, it really depends on the object. Some of them have things that just look so lewd already. So many ports and cables on computers, lol.
Oh yeah, so true. There are definitely objects I could think of that already have parts that are pretty lewd, or can be used in a sexual manner. I totally get it, yeah.
Not usually, because I'm pretty asexual and don't really find genitalia all that attractive. But aside from messing around with all those ports, I also sometimes imagine what it would be like to hook up one of those fancy app-controllable sex toys up to a computer and letting her control it and us both feeling pleasure through that.
With stuffies and dolls, it's kinda a thing. For others, just touching can be very energetic. And of course, if you love your play toys, vibrators, etc., that's a given too.
I honestly think it's hotter that objects don't have genitals and you have to get creative with them.
I was bullied for my preferences again. So this pervert got on my DMs and insulted me for loving a washing machine. He called me mentally ill, then said I live with my parents because I'll never get a life or be out on my own, and said he wanted to use me, but then turns around and tells me to eat shit. I blocked him, but I still feel down about it. Block him. His name is Reasonable Finish 622.
That sounds miserable. I'm so sorry that happened, frowny face. Just remember that your feelings are valid, and dicks on the internet don't know anything about your life or your love for your washing machine. P.S. According to the American Mental Health Association, objectum doesn't fit any criteria for mental illness and is just a niche sexuality. Mixed objectum rant. I'm gonna stay anonymous for this. This is a throwaway account. Just want to rant about being objectum since I don't have anyone to talk about it, really. God damn it, my fucking phone! I've got to put you on silent, you fucking bane of my existence, cunt phone, you asshole responsible for the downfall of the human race. Oh, that was recording, whatever. I am both tecum and vichium. IDK if the two labels can be used simultaneously, but I like both. I am super into old 50s, 60s cars, especially red/white ones. I am also super attracted to engines, chassis, old telephones, rotary touchtone, and motherboards. I like computers, yeah, but motherboards always have me acting a certain way.
Don't you just want to pin it down and fuck it? Don't give us that look. We know that our Macintosh is one of the sexiest pieces of technology on the market today. And now you can bring one directly home for a test drive. That's right, you could just bring it right into your bedroom or living room, or maybe even your kitchen, if you're feeling particularly kinky. You could even ask your local Apple dealer if you could get some special modifications, like maybe a nice port on the back or something. Just remember to clean it off before you bring it back in. But let's be honest, you won't want to after trying out Macintosh. After all, the hardest part of owning a Mac isn't learning how to use it. It's figuring out how to get your dick unstuck from the floppy drive. Don't you just want to pin it down and fuck it?
Anyway, back to cars. I've only recently realized my liking of engineering, and that's what has made me realize I am super duper horny for cars. I love working with engines because, one, very gender affirming. I'm a transsexual, transgender dude. Two, I have a paraphilia thing for not very intense scars, and it just so happens working with engines causes a lot of scarring. And three, suddenly I'm objectum. I just feel the intricacy of how everything works so well together is so inherently sexual. I've always felt a liking towards robots. The obvious sexuality and vulnerability of having your literal artificial life dependent on someone, yet having them look to you as a source for eternal wisdom, blah, blah, blah. But like cars, there's an aesthetic appeal and a bunch of gears and tubes you get to ogle at. Also, great VM movies. Crash and Christine. Holy shit, I love Christine!
Computers. Ugh. I want to fuck a computer so bad. I want to touch them and make them overheat because it feels good. I want to hold and kiss them. I want to be hopelessly romantic with them, even though I don't experience romantic attraction as much. Want.
You have to shove one ice cream up your ass.
Which one?
Oh, it's cold! Oh, it's cold!
Crash is amazing, but I feel it may seem less about the cars and, more about the crashes. I really want Christine to be my car girlfriend or something. I love her so much. She's so beautiful and she deserves a sucker like me to get her tires on. Anyway, sorry I got off topic. I really like cars and I'm very normal about them. If anybody wants me to show off my somewhat horny, somewhat existential, sucky writing about tech and stuff, just ask, and, I'll deliver.
You know, if I were more bold, I'd make out with that toilet.
Okay, so I've been counting down the days for ages, and I didn't really sleep Tuesday night, and I woke up at 5 a.m. I had to leave for the airport at 10 a.m., so I still had 5 hours. I decided to watch South Park and look at edits I made of my boyfriend. At 10 a.m., I was ready to go. My face was bright red as I got in the car. When I got to the airport, I checked into the executive lounge and looked at the planes. I had genuinely never been so red. When it was time to get on the plane, I had my objectum fan. I made it. And I was fanning myself so hard that people asked if I was okay, lol. I got on the plane looking redder than a Carolina Reaper, a type of chili pepper. I sat down with tears in my eyes. Okay, so a little later in the flight, I got to know the plane a bit more, and I kissed him a bit. The person next to me kind of saw, and I just looked at them and I said, I like planes. And then got up and went to the bathroom and had sex with the plane. Don't worry, I cleaned the bathroom after. My face was burning and I was walking back to my seat. A little kid said, "You're red." And I just said, "I'm objectum." So brave. So after we landed in Dublin, I gave the airline a Valentine's Day card and I had such a fun time. I loved the food and the play I watched was really funny, happy face. I went to sleep cuddled with the plush of my boyfriend and my other best friends who are plushies. The next day, I visited the famine statues in the post office with bullets in and had amazing pancakes. I then went back to the airport and back on the same plane. We didn't have sex this time, but we did kiss. I was telling him all about my El Emo, my beautiful boyfriend. I said I wouldn't mind dating you as well as my current boyfriend, but El Emo would have to know and agree we would be a poly couple. I said maybe we could be best friends, and he said yes! We had such a nice time together, and I took lots of pictures of him. After I went back to the car park, and I couldn't remember where the car was parked, so I went on every floor but the one I was actually parked in. When I finally got there, I went to the wrong way and took an hour or two to find it. Then I just went home and spent time with my pets. Thanks for reading. I don't use capital letters.
Did you mention Carolina Reapers? Because, I am attracted to them.
No, I just thought of the reddest thing I've seen, which is the Carolina Reaper. My friend tried having some and ended up in tears. I've not tried one before, though, but I would one day. Have you ever seen one before?
No, but one of my goals is to make love to a Carolina Reaper. Because, I am the one who is attracted to chili peppers.
I didn't know that was your goal. Yeah, I did know you were attracted to them, but that wasn't the reason I put them there. Also, I hope you achieve your goal someday, Happy Face. Okay, let's not start arguing here. I think Dizzy just put it in because of something that happened with them and their friend. I don't know their pronouns, so I'm using they, them. Dizzy sounds like a nice person. I really doubt that's the reason why they put a Carolina Reaper in the sentence. And anyway, I think it made the story better. Just chill, okay, bro? They probably weren't even thinking about you when they put it in.
No, I wanted them to think about me. I want people to associate Carolina Reapers with me. I'm not even arguing. I actually wanted them to say yes, they did put it in because of me. Then it means that they associate Carolina Reapers with me.
Well, I do associate chili peppers with you. I thought you meant something else. Sorry. Yeah, I think of you when I see something like a Carolina Reaper. Sorry if that sounds creepy. I don't mean it in that way.
Boner! 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 Boner!